Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So as you can tell by the title, I'm not too sure what I'm going to title this video actually, because there's about 3 different totally separate pieces of news I'm going to cover in this one. But crazy season has begun, which is something we alluded to in the previous video in terms of rumours. I know some of you guys in the comments have seen you saying, you know, you're sick of seeing rumours, but that's what we kind of do at this point in the season, don't we? I cover all rumours, and people who don't really have access to Twitter or certain social media, they use this kind of outlet to try and find out what's going on in the rumour mill. So if you don't like rumours, then just don't click on the video, unfortunately, because you're going to get rumours. But we will start with the rumours, and then we've also got a couple of updates from the club in terms of a new pitch, and then also we have a new appointment. It isn't a head coach, but we'll get into that one as well. But we'll start off with the rumours. So yesterday, circulating, there was quite heavy rumours, surrounding different outlets as well, and they did regard Dan Ballard and Pierre Ekwah. Now, who were they linked with? Ipswich. Of course, Ipswich have just had a remarkable season, getting themselves promoted from the Championship to the Premier League, and apparently they want both Dan Ballard and Pierre Ekwah. Again, it could just be rumours, but and it probably is just rumours. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but it did come from quite a lot of outlets. But the rumoured figure was 8 million. And no, not 8 million for Dan Ballard's left foot, for both Pierre Ekwah and Dan Ballard. Now, that is laughable. We're in no rush to sell either of them. For me, personally, if you wanted my opinion on each one, I think Dan Ballard, you probably easily get anywhere between 15 to 20 million. I would think, considering he's got plenty of time on his contract, his age and how good he is. And I've said this plenty of times now, he will be a Premier League centre-back in the next couple of years, I believe. Pierre Ekwah is a different one for me. He has shown glimpses of quality, but there's been far too many times where he has let himself down in terms of performances, which again is a very, very young lad, which should improve his value, if you can look at it that way. Because, like I said, we've seen glimpses where he is absolute quality, and he looks like a Rolls Royce, and he'll do that for 1 or 2 games, and then we'll have 10, 15 games of... and where he's awful, where his awareness is terrible, he gives away the ball in stupid positions, and again, that's something that comes with time. But if someone like an Ipswich came and offered us sort of nearly either double figures or just under, I probably wouldn't be totally against that for Pierre Ekwah. But 8 million for both Ekwah and Dan Ballard, that's a joke. To put it bluntly, that is a joke. That's an absolute piss take. You wouldn't get Dan Ballard's weak foot for that. As I said, you just wouldn't. But that is the rumours. That was a big rumour that was going around yesterday. Now, also, we did get an update from the club. There's been a couple of updates as of today. We are going to be getting ourselves a new pitch. There's going to be a new high calibre pitch put out and at the Stadium of Light, which they've said that will unfortunately disturb, where you've got people who have their family members or friends like ashes. People have passed. People have had it, in the past they've had their ashes spread on the Stadium Light, but unfortunately that will mean that those will be disturbed. However, alternatively, what they're doing is they're inviting said people who are, of course, involved in that to come and see either the removal or an invitation to, I don't know which to see it one last time, or they're going to move it, basically, move these ashes in these memorial areas, and they're creating a garden outside the Stadium Light, which I think is a nice touch. I know it's sad and it must be really annoying and frustrating for some people, but I think it's nice that you're coming up with an alternative, and it's not just a case of, sorry guys, we're moving this. And I know it's a very sensitive topic, which I won't go into too much detail on, but that is essentially the plan of what they're going to do. Now, what was I talking about when I was on about a new appointment? So we do have a new Chief Business Officer. Now, it is David Bruce. David Bruce is someone who was already with the club for the past season. He was originally, I think it was Chief Brand and Commercial Officer, and he was appointed last season, at the beginning of last season. But now he's essentially been put in charge, I guess promoted to a degree, but it's a new role where he's essentially going to be in charge of all business aspects of the club. Now, if you have a look at what he's actually achieved over the past season, of course, on the pitch, that isn't his cup of tea, that isn't his bread and butter. He's not to do with that. If you look at what he's achieved over the past season, just over the past season, he's managed to work a deal with Hummel. He's managed to work a deal in terms of the retail side, which is now about to be implemented, to be improved. For the last 20 odd years, we've been screaming for a new Hummel deal, and we've been getting these not real, bespoke kits that we keep getting promised, and they're not bespoke and they're shit. So he's been here a season, he's immediately got us that Hummel deal that all the fans wanted. The improvement side of the retail side, he's got Fanatics in, who are a huge brand, a huge global brand that provide for many massive clubs in terms of the retail side. So he's done pretty decent in the last 20 years, what am I on about? In last season. And I think what it shows, and I will give you the club statement so you do get a sort of thorough understanding of what this role is for him. But I think what it shows is he's come in and he does have a plethora of experience, a huge amount of experience for a fairly young lad as well, I believe. But what it shows is that what he's done, he's come in over the last season and he's actually listened to what the fans want, which I know a lot of people that, you could say a lot less for other people who are working at the club. But this bloke, he seems to have come in and just literally just thought of last season, what do the fans want? So he's been working on dealing with Hummel. That's what everyone's been screaming for. He's actually listening from the ground up from what the fans want and what we maybe need. And of course now the retail side, which has needed an overhaul for years, as I keep on saying. And now that's getting done within the first season. So I think that is only a positive. So I will give you a statement from the club anyway, so it makes more sense, because I've probably described that and explained that awfully. But I'll give you the statement from the club. So Sunderland AFC is delighted to announce David Bruce's appointment as Chief Business Officer. After assuming the position of Chief Brand and Commercial Officer since July 2023, Bruce will now transition into a new role and assume overall leadership of the club's business operation from the 1st of June 2024. His appointment forms part of a wider restructuring within the business operation, which aims to establish greater levels of leadership and ensure a renewed commitment to fan centricity can be fully embraced throughout the club. Wearside-born Bruce returned to the North East 9 months ago following an immensely successful 11-year tenure with Major League Soccer, during which he undertook the roles of Senior Vice President of Brand and Integrated Marketing and Chief Marketing Officer. Bruce led MLS's brand evolution as the league entered a new era on the global stage, and he was part of the leadership that introduced 13 new clubs to the league, created a new global broadcast relationship with Apple TV, and helped launch Lionel Messi's arrival in the US. A graduate of Northumbria University and the University of Oregon's Warsaw Sports MBA program, he also built and developed multiple new brands for the MLS. These included EMLS, Leagues Cup, MLS Next and MLS Go, which doubled fan growth, increased commercial revenues and provided fans with new ways to follow the sport. During his first season on Wearside, Bruce secured long-term agreements with Hummel and Fanatics, which will commence ahead of the 2024-25 season and set the tone for a new commitment that places fans at the core of the club's actions. Bruce commented, "It is an enormous privilege to be stepping into this role. Sunderland is my team and I am honoured to be given the opportunity to be part of a leadership team that I hope will achieve great things on and off the field. Not only is the city changing dramatically, but the football club that reflects it and its people are also embarking on a period of transformation and growth. In Sunderland, there is an obsession that can't be replicated. This is a unique and special club. I'm excited to build on the strong foundations established by our ownership group throughout the past 3 years and shape a club that we can all be proud of." Kirill Louis-Dreyfus added, "David is one of the most progressive and innovative thinkers in sports business, and we are delighted with the impact he has made since the arrival 9 months ago. He has built a reputation around fan-centric thinking and engagement that is centred around creating memorable experiences for fans, and his time at the MLS was a period of unprecedented growth. David's appetite for the football club and love of the area make him a perfect candidate to lead our business, and I look forward to supporting him in his new role." So, of course, there it explains it a lot better than I did, but is ideal for the role, obviously being from Sunderland, he's a Sunderland fan, and as I did allude to earlier, everything he is doing, everything he's thinking, everything he wants to implement, he's got the fans' thoughts and hopes and wants and desires at heart, which is a main thing, because how many times have we seen at the club when we've had different people coming with different posh, fancy roles and titles that don't essentially mean bullshit, and then they've just kind of just picked up a paycheck, and you don't even see what they're implementing in the club, and there's been no improvement, whereas this lad, he loves Sunderland, and he's had a huge amount of success over in the MLS, which, as we all know, 10, 15 years ago, MLS, you wouldn't even really speak about it, whereas now it's become a really big part of football as we know it. The sort of the audience, the attention of the MLS is quadrupled since I was younger. More than that, you wouldn't even really look to America, as I say. But there we go. So that's pretty much everything as of yet over the last sort of day or two. How do you feel about everything I have discussed? Of course, the Ekwah and Ballard Rumours, how do you feel about that? Absolutely ridiculous. And how would you actually value them? That'd be interesting to see in the comments. How would you value Ballard? How much would you take for him? How much would you value Ekwah? And how much would you take for him as well? Obviously, we've got the resurfacing of the pitch. It's a brand new pitch, I do believe. It's not just a simple resurfacing. There's a lot they're doing around the pitch, I believe. So that's, again, it's only a positive. Let's head into sort of this pre-season on a positive, and hopefully over the next week or so we do hear about a new head coach, because that is absolutely colossal, because it's all well and good getting everything perfect outside on the business aspect, but it's on the pitch that yields the most that's where the results are needed, isn't it? And that's where the improvements are needed as well. So anyway, if you have enjoyed, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already, to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, take care and stay jammy.